All right. Another beautiful day.
Let's go.
Another beautiful day, man. This is Evan Layton with HTown Happy Hour.
Derek Diotalevi with HTown Happy Hour.
And our special guest today.
My name is Landry St, and I own LIVEImpact Events.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. Landry St. Patrick.
All right. So why don't you...
LIVEImpact.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, no. LIVEImpact Events, man. I was going to say, well, how did that name come around?
I guess we're just going to start off getting into it then. So whenever I was 18, I made a mistake, and I got locked up in prison at 24 years old, 24, 23. And I decided that I wanted to change my life whenever I was in there. And one of the ways I wanted to change my life was start a company, because I hated working for people, obviously. Mm-hmm. That's why I was there. So I decided to go deeper into myself and figure out what truly made me happy, and music was one of the things. But then I was like, you know what? I don't want to just do music. I want to build a culture of experiences, and I actually want to provide something instead of just a show. So I started thinking of names, and one of them that stuck to me was Impact. And Impact was actually started in jail, funny enough. Mm-hmm. The whole thing was started in jail. I wrote all my business plan, everything down.
Beautiful.
And actually started to manifest exactly what I wanted to do. And Impact was just because I wanted to change the way people thought about things.
Nice. So you wanted to change the way people saw. You said it was you got Impact because you wanted to change the way people saw that industry?
Yeah.
Nice.
I wanted to change the whole concept of it, because as far as what I see, a lot of people do big production, big sound, big ass headliner. And that's the industry standard. That's cool. A lot of people do that and it works.
Do you think that's just because it attracts eyes?
I think it attracts eyes, and it's one of the simpler things to do. And, easy. If you go for easy, it's tight, especially if it makes you money.
Mm-hmm. All right. So just for the audience to kind of catch them up and everything, go ahead. And what is LIVEImpact Events?
LIVEImpact Events is a music event company. We started officially in November. I started doing emo nights, which was Felt Emo in Houston, Texas, which is now the biggest emo night in Houston, Texas.
Nice.
And we just don't do specific genres. We kind of stick to go for everything. Right now, my main focus is my emo nights as well as my electronic music shows, which I'm trying to turn into festivals.
Nice.
But you got to walk before you can
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We've done a couple festivals, and they're not easy to pull off.
No.
It's a lot of fun though.
It's great. I love it. Wouldn't trade it for the world.
It's one of the greatest highs is being there and seeing something you put together
for sure.
unfolding in front of your eyes.
Yeah.
Nice. So how long you been in the event industry?
I've been inside the event industry probably since 2015. I've been going to events consistently since 2012, especially in the rave community and electronic music community.
Yeah.
So I've been involved with either setup, production, promoting, psyops, which is creating decoration, all types of stuff, just since I was a kid.
Yeah. That all kind of goes hand in hand with something you were saying earlier. You want to create an impact. You want to create an experience, not just do another music show.
Yeah, for sure.
That's right on the money. I think that's important when you're doing any kind of event. I think that's how you can set yourself apart from other promoters or other event coordinators and stuff like that. Is you create an experience, you create something that people remember and talk about, and then that's marketing in its own. The referral, word of mouth, people talk.
What sort of reviews have you gotten from your peers after you've had a successful event? What's some of the things that your friends and people around you have said about him? Hey, way to go. It was really awesome when XYZ happened.
So someone told me this a long time ago, and I wish I could remember who said it, but they said, you can tell a lot about a person by the type of events they throw. So I'm very passionate about what I do, and it's one of the biggest things to me in the world. Actually, I've given up almost everything to make this into something.
Beautiful.
So it actually doesn't surprise me, but it does surprise me because people can see the hard work I put in. I've only gotten positive feedback. Yeah. Even whenever I started doing it during the pandemic a little bit, I took all the procedures because I did care about people. So I made sure there was masks at door.
Luckily, the rave community already wears masks a lot.
Yeah, thank God. We're good. We're good.
They're there. Actually, I have a fashionable mask. I was ready for the pandemic.
They were ahead of the curve. Yeah. They were doing it before COVID made it cool.
Exactly, before it was cool.
Dude, no, it's crazy because the kids back then that used to wear the mask all the time, now it's hey man, can you wear a mask? They're like,
No, man, I've been wearing a mask. Yeah.
Now that it's like it's part of the rules, it's like no, that's not.
I don't want to do that.
I don't wanna do that.
I was wearing a mask to be different. Now all y'all clowns are wearing masks. I'm on out.
Yeah,
That's
I
tight.
don't want to wear this.
All right, well, you kind of just popped the cherry kind of early there. Tell us a little bit about I mean, you said you went to prison and it kind of helped you align yourself, came out. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I went into prison back in 2018, the very beginning. I was 400 pounds. I was drinking all the time. I was doing just everything and anything I get my hands on. But when I went in, my mom asked me to do one thing. And she was like, if you're going in to do this, I want you to do one thing, and that's get healthy. So the first day I started working out. And then I started meeting personal trainers and all this other thing. And I was starting to lose weight. And then I was like, well, I feel like healthy isn't just physical, it's mental as well.
Yeah.
That's
So
huge.
that's whenever I started reading books and I started getting into
Cool.
self-help and I started reading stuff that I liked. And, you know, surely enough, like things started to change inside of my head as well as my like body.
Yep.
And then I was like, well, there's also one more other thing. I need to get spiritual. So that's whenever I started reading the Bible and started doing everything else. And then everything started falling into place. And then I met this guy. This guy was like a CEO of this company and he started it from the ground up, like with one lawnmower, and ended up doing $100,000 a year.
Wow.
And I was like, yo, how the hell did you do that?
Right.
I'm curious. Like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
And he was just like, well, you know, find something you're passionate about. What do you love? I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know what I love. I have no idea.
Well, hey, and you remember how you were talking about reading? I mentioned that Acres of Diamonds.
Yeah,
book.
it's a good book.
Well, one of the things that I kind of took away the most from that was everyone talks about, oh, I wish I could be upon a gold field or a coal mine or some sort of oil rig or something like that. I wish I could just have it.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, what you fail to realize is beneath your feet there is an acre of diamonds, but you have to mine yourself to find out where those diamonds are and how they shine bright. You said, well, I don't know what the heck I love. Well, I love creating a good experience for other people. I love having a good time. And maybe there's not a good enough time out there in this world yet. So let me maybe write down some ideas. Is this kind of...
Yeah, that's basically how that happened. It took me a week to come back to him and be like, this is what I love to do, and this is what I want to do. But I'm afraid to do drugs because like if it's so close together, music events and drugs and alcohol go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So he was like, all right, well, that's an easy quit.
Damn.
I was like, well, I mean,
exactly.
For all this.
Yeah,
But
that's
it's like, how bad do you want it?
yeah, like how bad do you want it? I was like, well, now that I figured it out, I want it as much as I want to breathe. You know, I
Yeah.
don't want it. I want it more than anything.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I strive. So a week later, I was like, you know what? I'll quit everything. And
Damn.
like,
Haven't looked back since.
Haven't looked back since.
How long you
Admirable.
not been
That's
doing
admirable.
drugs, drinking, or anything like that?
I haven't done drugs or drinking since May, because I got high in prison. So like May 2018.
Damn, bro.
Yeah.
Props, homie.
Appreciate it.
Wow, that's
No,
huge.
seriously.
Yeah.
That's
Honestly,
huge.
well, I mean, you know, there was a while where I was going to those meetings also, and it was one of the things that I took away from it was there was a lot that I took away from it, but then I heard somebody say, the people that are outside of here wish they could have what we have, this sobriety and clean head, and that always resonated with me. It was always like, he's got a point.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and it's. So I'm just saying it's admirable that you've been able to do that. And on the flip side, it's paid tenfold.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So, I mean, just to kind of dig in a little more, you're in the rave scene. I mean, that scene is a lot of drugs.
Yeah.
Was it difficult at first to kind of be back in the scene, or
The first week.
The
The
first
first week, I was able to go back out and actually like, cause I came out during Corona. That's the
Yeah.
whole reason I got out.
Yeah.
So, the first week whenever I got back, I was a little antsy. I was like looking at the bars like, fuck. And then I was like seeing people do like coke and shit in the bathroom my friends were doing. I was going to after parties and I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know. And then sure enough, like, you know, I just stopped giving a fuck.
Yep.
I started realizing that that's not what I wanted and that life wasn't for me anymore. And this life was.
Yeah. That little temporary high is not worth or ruining the overall high, the achieving your goals,
Yeah.
the reaching success.
Dude, my parents are proud of me for once in my life. It's great.
Wow.
No, I'm good. I like it.
Hey, that's huge, dude.
Yeah.
Because I remember when my parents tell me they're proud of me, it's one of the biggest, like the real proud of you, not like
No,
just
yeah.
the bullshit. Like when they're like
The genuine.
the genuine, they give you that real respect. It feels amazing.
Yeah, for sure. Love it.
I think it's kind of vice versa as well. I think, like, to me at least, like one of the greatest things as a parent is to be able to genuinely be proud of your child.
I agree.
Because I would say, like, as a parent, the number one goal is to leave your children off better than you were.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
For once, I can feel like whenever they stare at me, they don't have to worry about me anymore. Because before they would stare at me and they're like, "Oh shit, what is it gonna do?"
What's the next incident gonna be?
Yeah, what is it gonna?
right?
Because I was
What's-
in and out of jail, man. Like for like from
Well,
18 to like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then that also kind of makes me think. I mean, it's like as you're sitting there watching your friends and your peers kind of do this stuff, and you can make because I mean, it's all about consciously making your choice to do something.
Right.
You know, and you can consciously say, no, you know what? My urge to make a successful event is a little bit higher than this urge to participate in whatever my buddies are doing right now because I know it's not going to be for the better of me.
Yeah.
And I mean, I feel like that's kind of another thing that can almost have an igniter in your gas tank,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
to make an event special.
That's definitely one of them. And I just feel like if I were to, like you were saying earlier, if you get drunk at your own event, what does it make it look like? If you
Yeah.
get fucked up at your own show, what does it look like? And even then, even if it's not my show, if people see me acting a fool and doing like dumb shit because I'm messed up in some other way, what does it say about my company?
Exactly.
Right.
But if people see me walk around high chest, straight back, you know, head up high,
Clear-eyed and
clear-eyed,
stuff, yeah.
everything else, what are you gonna get? You're gonna get what I'm gonna tell you.
And
Yeah.
and also they're gonna your reputation is gonna shine
Yeah.
a little bit higher because they know that's not like, oh, there goes the event coordinator trashed again.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, no. Oh, this needs to be done. This needs to be done. You have to work behind the scenes.
Yeah, 100%.
So I mean, if you're all tossed up and everything, you know, I could just see how that would be hard, especially in an industry like that.
Yeah.
You know.
And even if your friends are like, you go to your friends' shows, because like if you're in the industry, usually you'll find friends that are doing the exact same thing. It just kind of happens.
Yep.
You know, you surround yourself with people what you do. But like, even though like they'll see me running around, like, hey, can you help me out? Can you help me out? Can you help me out? I
Yeah.
always say yeah because you know
They know you're straight in
yeah,
mind.
you know, I'm able to help you. I'm always there to help. Like especially with like many of people that are in Houston that I go to their shows. I'm always there for them. Same
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's tight.
So what are some of the stuff that goes on in your preliminary to setting up these events? So say you have one maybe two Saturdays away from now. You know what I mean?
Let's say we have one.
Let's just say maybe for instance, you know what I'm saying?
have one?
I do have one. I do
Well,
have
how
one.
about that?
That's
Okay?
crazy, right?
You know, well, okay. So tell the people that are watching and us, because you know I'm interested also. What sort of stuff goes on into the setting up for your kind of event? Like what sort of? I know there's probably a checklist that you have.
I do.
This has to be done. This has to be done. So what are some of those things?
Well, the first and foremost thing, no matter what, I have an algorithm that I actually wrote out whenever I was away, and the algorithm starts off with the venue.
Yep.
Venue is the first thing that I always find. Once I find a venue, then I can think of the event.
Yeah.
Once I think of the event, like the one that I'm about to do in 2 weeks, is Odyssey.
Yeah.
And once I figure out the event theme and the way I want to do it and what the event theme speaks to me, then I move on with the artists. So then I start booking the artist. Once I book the artist and fill in that spot, then I start working on, okay, production.
Yeah.
I have a production team that I'm teamed up with called Lynchpin, and we're teamed together for every event that I do.
Nice.
So like, I don't got to worry about that. They got that on their lock.
They're pretty good. I've seen them in action.
Yeah, they're
pretty
great. I
damn
love
good.
them. They work their ass off. They also crazy. They'll stay up like 24 hours and just hit it. It's ridiculous.
Oh, I thought you said they'll stab like 24
No,
hours.
no,
I was
stay
gonna
up.
say
They'll stay
dope.
up. Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, all right, man. They got
about
your
that.
back. Yeah.
Then after the production, I start rolling. I have my marketer Brandon. He usually rolls out the promotions and how we're gonna do it and organically, and do all the organic side effects with promoters and just kind of run that plan out.
Yeah.
And then usually after we have all that set up, we'll do the announce. And then through the announce to the day of the show, I'll work on like decorations, work on other things that I want to throw in, work on little more promotional strategies that I've been also working on with Derek. You know, just little things in between to help provide experiences for the show. Like right now I'm working on performers in the last 2 weeks of this show coming up.
Yeah.
Because Odyssey is about an epic. It's about a story that where you're the main character, just like similar to the Homer Odyssey. So like the reason I thought of it is because Perseus was a normal man, and like was just like me and you, but ended up being something great. And you know, much as any of us, we want to be that. We're all normal human beings that want to be something great, but we have to go through obstacles to get there, just like Perseus did.
Damn.
So I want to perceive that into this show, that even though you're just a human being, you can do great things.
Right. Yeah.
And there's nothing in your way. There's nothing that can stand in your way if you're willing to jump over these obstacles and fight these monsters and demons in your path.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that whenever I throw this show, that I'm creating a spark for people to understand that when they see all this music and art that I'm trying to provide, that they get this creative spark that, man, I know what I want to do, and create their own story.
Yeah.
So the premise of the event is you're the main character.
Gotcha.
Like, that's what I want. I want you to understand that when you walk in these doors, you're starting your story, and that you're the main character to the show.
I'm sold, and I don't even know the lineup yet.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
right?
saying? From this conversation, I'm saying, like, that's dope, dude.
Yeah.
That's what everyone.
Man,
that's
throw
what
in some
everyone
Greek
needs.
and Roman themes, it's tight.
Good to know. Little toga party.
Little toga party, dress up as a god, a monster, Medusa, whatever the fuck, you know, have fun.
Yeah.
It's about riding your wave, right? It's about finding your wave and riding it.
Yeah,
That's dope.
exactly.
Cool.
Yeah. That was a good question, dude. That's a
Thanks,
good
man.
question. All right, so
Yeah.
you've got the theme figured out now. Now talk more closer to the show.
What do you mean by that?
Like,
so we have your algorithm. You got all these things that go into it. So the events, themes, artists, promo, and things like that. Maybe what's some of the other things? Like, I mean,
the show.
as far as like, like, I mean, how do you put it? Like, once you have like 2 or 3 performers put in a set, like, do you categorize them off into, this guy's going to be on between 9 and 11:30?
That's my. I'm gonna start doing the lineups again, but I've been having my friend, which is also like my talent buyer, Zach. He's been doing all my lineups and doing my talent buying and doing everything for me because I'm too busy trying to like run around and do everything.
Yeah.
With meetings and then trying to get sponsors and just everything in between that goes with this business.
Well, dude, you don't want to pressure yourself and burn out by trying to
Split
put
it up.
everything on your head.
Right.
Plus, a team makes everything easier.
100%, man.
Teamwork
And
makes dream work.
being able to delegate tasks out to other people who are solid individuals that can carry the torch and just handle it. I mean, that's why I like sports so much. That's why I like, working in the group atmosphere. It's like, you can depend on other people to do a job. If you're like, hey, man, can you call the lights guy? Make sure that they're coming in at 8:30 because the event starts at 9:30.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Can you please call that and confirm that? Thank you.
Yeah, it's perfect.
So you have some moving figures.
Yeah, I have a pretty good team right now.
There it is.
It works pretty well.
Cool.
I've had no really bad hiccups. Everything's been going successful. Honestly, I'm surprised that it's been going so well. I've had 0 like failures yet.
Yeah.
So I've had my failures before I started Live Impact, like tons of them. But so far, it's been smooth sailing. I want to keep it up. It's going great.
Well, maybe you learned your lesson.
I hope so.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And not in a bad way, but I mean, like, sometimes it's just that little. Duh.
Yeah.
Don't do it again. Don't do it again.
Don't do it. All right.
It's funny. Well, because I mean, speaking about teams, I was telling him about like whenever I was coaching football, I'd want like football goon heads, like almost like they run in there. Let's do that again. Let's do that again. But the opposite works with the law. You know what I mean? It's kind of like I got we all get easily trouble on the road, and it's kind of like, hey, maybe we don't make those same steps.
Yeah.
Oh,
and dude, they check me all the time. I'll be like, guys, this is a great idea. They're like, shut up, Landry. I'm like, all right.
Oh man, these guys are
good to
solid
have that.
friends.
It's good to have that in a friend, dude.
Like, sit down and think about what you just said. I'm like,
I thought
that
about
was
it.
dumb.
Yeah. Hey, that's real.
Yeah.
That's real. You got to surround yourself with people that are going to keep it real with you.
Oh, dude, I can't stand when people just agree with me every time
Yeah,
I say
yes
something.
man
Yes
is
man.
fucking
Yeah.
terrible,
I
dude.
hate that shit.
I hate a yes man.
You'll never grow with a yes man.
Exactly.
There are some good ideas, but not all of them.
Yeah.
Right.
And even if they're not like fully good, they can be made into good. There's, a couple
Right.
missing
You
pieces.
got to flesh it out, iron
Yeah.
it out. You know what I'm saying?
My problem is someone will tell me an idea, like someone will start off a conversation, try to convey their idea to me, and I'm like, I love it, and I try to build on top of it, and they're like, chill, and I'm like, no, I'm
got
with you,
this.
man.
Yeah.
I got your idea, man. I'm here to build with you. Chill out. All right, whatever, man. But at the same time, I like to build on top of other people's ideas. So maybe you come to your group and be like, hey, I got this thing for an Odyssey fantasy where you are the own main character in your story. And through this whole event experience, you learn that the power has always been within you.
Right.
And they're like, shut it, bro. And then you're like, all right, well, watch this shit.
Oh, dude, my whole. All right, so I'm gonna talk about my first show.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that literally just brought me into it. All right, so my first show, it was called Fragment. It's like my centerpiece from like Live Impact. It's the premise of Fragment is finding the missing piece of yourself, fill in that void.
Yeah.
And that's the premise of it. I mean, there's a whole ass story, but anyway, I started doing the show. I ended up taking a loan from a loan shark.
Ooh.
Dude, I had no money.
I've done that. I've done it in the trenches.
I had no money.
The event went down.
Yeah.
The event.
So like, I was broke at $0 in my bank account in
Right
November.
on.
Yeah, no money. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. Like, there's nothing that's gonna stop me. And I used to work at a poker club, so I walked up to this guy who was a poker player and had a bunch of money, and I was like, yo, man, I need a loan.
Let me get that.
Yeah. And he was like, how much do you need? I was like, $3,000. And he was like, I can do $3,000. I'm like, tight. I'm like, what do you want back on it? He's like, 33% of all profits.
Fuck.
I'm like, God, dude.
Hold up.
Hey, loan shark, I'm about to make shark fin stew. Thanks for your help.
For sure. I was like, all right, cool, man. I didn't even think about it.
I'm not even gonna negotiate the
money.
terms. Thanks
I need
for
the
cash,
money.
man.
Hey, I've done it.
I was like, not a thought in my head. I was like, I'll take it. So I took it, and me and my friend started to book the venue. Then we booked an artist, and I was originally going to book another artist, and then I found out another promoter was trying to book that artist, talked to her, and she was like, yeah, I want to bring in that artist. I was like, all right, well, give me someone that I can bring, because that was my big, like, yeah. Funny enough, we ended up booking him for the second Fragment. It was Bandles, but
Dope.
That was a dope
we ended
show.
up getting Zuba. We ended up doing Zuba at this warehouse. I didn't have a production team, so I was like driving around looking for production teams, and I was like finding someone that believed in me. That was like, yo, I want to partner with you. Let's do this shit. And I found this one group of people that were just like, yo, about your vision. Let's fucking do it. I'm like, all right, tight. So then I had the production team, and I was like, all right, let's go. So then I was like already dead set on Fragment. We made the flyer. My graphic designer Tyler did it, and then posted it out. I did the day after Christmas. Everyone and their fucking mother was like, that is a horrible day. Do not do that day. You will fucking lose your ass off. Da-da-da. I was like, fuck you. I'm going to do it anyway.
Nice. Nice.
And everyone was like, no one even knows who Zuba is. You're not going to make money. I don't know why you're doing that. I'm like, I don't care.
I'm doing it.
I'm doing it.
Yeah.
So I booked the event out. I was like, how do I do this? I was like, memes. Because I was like brand new. So I started copying other promoters, doing what they were doing. I'm like, all right, cool. Make my own little spin to it. You know, just kind of started going with it. And then I started like doing live streams about like what it meant to me, who I am, why I want to do this, giving people a little bit more entry and more transparency on who's throwing this event.
Yeah.
And you know, it really fucking worked.
Wow. Because now they can relate to you.
Yeah.
Now they know your story.
Yeah, I was just,
Wow.
I hate sharing my emotions.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm trying to get better and better at it.
Yeah.
So like, that was one of those moves that I had to make. So I was like, how can I sell this?
Well, a lot of the times it's funny that you even say that. How can I sell this? A lot of people, they buy for emotional reasons too.
Right.
People want to buy for emotional reasons. Like if you're, what about the little 11 or 12-year-old that comes knocking at your door saying, hey, I'm selling candy
Girl
for
Scout cookies.
Yeah, I'm selling Girl Scout cookies, or I'm selling candies for football. I just need you to buy a couple of them. And you're like, all right, here's $10, man. Give me the Reese's peanut butter cups and the Kit Kats. Yeah. You know, have a good one. And it's like, thanks, sir. My team is going to go on to win the championship now that you helped. And then they feel good about it. And then they buy it. And it's like,
and that's still an honest sale. You know, he's not like baiting you to do it. He's like for me, instance, and the kid, it's an honest thing.
Right.
Like how the kid is just trying to get money for his football team. Man, I was just telling people about my dream and exactly what I wanted to do, my passion behind it, everything. You know what? It worked.
Wow.
Sure enough, I was scared off my ass.
as you should be.
I had 30 ticket sales the day before. I was like, fuck.
Oh,
I was like,
nerve-wracking.
bro, I'm going to owe this dude money. I don't even know if I'm going to pay it back. I have no money in my bank account. I'm screwed. Sure enough, man, I woke up the next day at 160 tickets sold.
Wow.
I was like,
Okay.
I was like, I have enough money. I was like, I think I got enough money to pay him back. It's crazy. So later on the night, it was around 180. I was like, all right, we'll see how this works. Get the lights going, get everything going, turn off the day room lights, fucking get everything started up, sound checked. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. So we were setting up Christmas Day. Completely forgot about this. This is a huge thing. We were setting up Christmas Day at this venue down the street called Sandman Studios. We were setting it up. We already tested power. So before anyone tries to check me on that, we did test power.
Yeah.
We did the amperage, all that. We plug everything in and we turn it on. And not everything would turn on at once. Like too much power was being sucked out. Like everything was only attached to one breaker.
Damn.
Yeah, crazy. It was an electronical nightmare. So like it's Christmas Day. I'm sitting in there at like 4 o'clock in the morning. It's the day after Christmas technically. And like I'm freaking out. I'm like calling people, messaging people for generators. Like where the hell am I going to find a 20 kilowatt generator
Right now?
Yeah, the day after Christmas.
Well, there probably were some sales at Home Depot and Lowe's, and some wives got their husbands some generators.
Yeah.
So you could probably be like, yeah, it may have actually been a perfect timing to ask.
That's what I was thinking maybe, but I started hitting up everybody. And then I called a friend and they were like, yo, this dude has a generator, hit him up. I'm up till 7 o'clock in the morning. I haven't slept in 2 days.
Yep.
Like I'm on nothing but caffeine. And like I call him at 7 and I'm like, hey man, I need a generator. He's like, what size? I was like, what's anything in the kilowatt? He's like, I got a 45 kilowatt generator. I could bring it to you for $500. I was like, get here now.
Yeah.
It's the day of the show. I'm like, get here now.
You got your money.
I'm like, y'all got this? I need to go get some sleep before the show. So like the generator got there, they set it all up. They called me and they're like, hey, everything's good. I run back over there, watch everything progress. Anyway, fast forward now that we figured out that monstrosity of almost not having a show go on after being promoted for like a month.
Yep.
Doors open. I still think I'm going to lose my ass. It hits 10 o'clock. We already have 250 people in the door.
Damn.
Nice.
I asked my friend that's working my door, Philip, and I'm like, hey, how many people have already scanned tickets? He's like, we've only scanned 30 tickets.
Wow.
I'm like, these are all door sales? He's like, yeah.
Nice.
I'm like, bro, this is insane.
Wow.
I'm like sitting in the back of the room, like crying, like I fucking did it.
I've been there, homie.
Yeah,
I've been there. Yeah.
I got 350 to 400 people in that night.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
First show ever.
First show.
What
First
a
show.
triumph, man. What a
yeah.
triumph.
We've
Yeah.
that's huge because it's a lot of the behind the scenes stuff you just kind of shared that people don't know is happening even behind the scenes.
Oh, yeah, dude, they
Those
don't know.
ups and downs. They don't even know the blood, sweat, and tears that goes into throwing on a big show, dude. We've we had a festival called the Houston Crawfish and Chill Festival.
When are we talking about that?
Never done a big event in our life, and we created an event on Facebook. It like started to go viral. All of a sudden, we had pre-sold like 800 tickets to this beast.
Crazy.
Never done a big event in our life. We had
Same.
done smaller events and stuff at bars and stuff, but
You're like a marketing guru. You should got that. Yeah.
we out here.
Yeah.
So like we had pre-sold like 800 tickets and. Exactly like you said, like using memes and using like just interesting marketing tactics.
Yeah.
Like it's doing it the organic way. And then so we've pre-sold like 800 tickets and like, all right, now we got to figure out how to put this festival on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Once you figure out like the easy portions, you're like, all right, now how the hell do we make this operate right now?
I need thousands of pounds of crawfish.
I need a wholesale supplier on crawfish cheese right now.
So we're hitting the phones, we're calling up people, and then like everyone starts to tell us the crawfish season was ending early because I think we scheduled it for like towards the end of May. That's crawfish season was ending early this year, so like all the crawfish was looking tiny. And what we had pitched it on. We were gonna do free beer because a beer distributor had told us like, hey, we'd love
Sponsorship, yeah.
exactly, let's sponsor it. We'll do some free beer for everybody. So that was part of the ticket marketing and everything.
Free beer.
Free beer.
Free beer.
Free beer with every pound of crawfish.
right, exactly. So
Who said that? They were like, somebody said like you can't say. I think it was Facebook was like you can't say free beer or something like that. And you're like, all right, Facebook. Well, then you get 2 free beers.
no. So I'll tell you what happened. So then this just goes hand in hand with exactly like your generator stuff going on. The sound not working. We're like a week out from this event, pre-sold over 1,000 tickets. Pre-sold, not even at the door tickets. And the beer company hits me up and they're like, hey, we can't sponsor this free beer. You just out front said free beer. Like TBC is talking to us and we can't just say free beer like that. We can't attach ourselves to this anymore.
No.
Oh shit.
We're a week out. We're a week out from this festival, pre-sold like 1,000 tickets. So it's exactly like you said. You know what I did? I went online. I did a post on our Facebook and stuff and on the event page, and I said, hey guys, TABC came down on us. We can't technically save free beer, so what we're going to offer is everyone that, and the free beer was just for people that bought pre-sold tickets, like early bird tickets and stuff. I was like, what we're going to do is we're going to give everyone 3 tokens for tasty adult beverages. Everyone that has bought a ticket so far, you get 3 tokens for tasty adult beverages. Boom. So like we probably had, out of like the 1,000 tickets we pre-sold, we probably had like 30, 40 people ask for a refund. And because I just went on there and I explained it to everyone. I was like, yo, we put our blood, sweat, and tears into this. It outgrew us quick. We didn't know how to do this. We had to change venues like 2-3 times because of the size.
Which one was the one that you messed up PayPal on?
That was it.
That was it.
All of a sudden, I got like 30, 40, 50 G's on PayPal in my PayPal account. And they start getting these refunds requests come through and stuff. So, and like they basically reach out to me and they're like, hey, we're not in the business of crowdsourcing festivals. You need to have your own money to run this festival. Like PayPal reached out to me. This Elon Musk owns PayPal at the time.
Oh,
you
shit.
know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So they're reaching out to me and they're like, we don't crowdsource. We don't allow people to crowdsource festivals. Like, you need to have your own money. Because I start spending the money up to make this festival happen. I'm spending the pre-sold tickets. Gotta get porta potties, gotta get talent, gotta get DJs, gotta get tents, gotta buy this crawfish, gotta get all this stuff up. So, like, PayPal sends out, like, a day after they call me and tell me they locked up, like, 30 Gs.
Right.
Froze 30 Gs.
Yeah.
$30,000 of mine. Froze it. So... the day after they do all this, they send out like a PayPal notice to everyone that has like a PayPal business account that they don't do crowdsourced events and stuff. Like they send, because it wasn't in none of their.
Have you experienced something like that also?
No.
Well,
No. I like I said, I've known enough people. I originally did Eventbrite.
yeah.
And like hit Eventbrite, and then I
Yep.
switched to Ticket Spice because like they hit me up and they were like, hey, we can give you a better deal. I was like, all right.
Right. Yeah. I don't use Eventbrite anymore either.
Yeah,
I
I don't
use
like
other ones.
Eventbrite.
Eventbrite is who this happened through.
Yeah.
It was Eventbrite, and then it was connected to my PayPal. So, like, long story short, dude, we know about the trials and tribulations that come through and throwing these events, and how tough it is, and being opening to just being real with people. And if people can relate and people understand where you're coming from, they'll still support you.
100%. And dude, I have a lot of supporters right now just because like they've seen me grow. They saw me whenever before I went to prison, I was 400 pounds. I was fat.
Yeah.
I fucking hated life.
Now
I
you
was
kinda jacked, bro.
Yeah, now I'm
Now you
kind of
kinda
jacked.
jacked.
Great. And then I hated life. People would always tell me like, man, I feel like I've known you my whole life, but I never knew you now. So it's like crazy. So like now I have all that support because they've seen me like from then to now. Like I weigh like 210 right now. I like own my own company. I have another company called Felt Emo, and me and my friend Julian do that. And it's just like watching me grow. They followed the whole thing, and it's cool to have that so much support. Like, but it also sucks because if I fuck up for everyone. And it's like, God, that's a lot of people to disappoint.
Well, and that kind of leads into my next question was, when did you realize that this was a good fit for you, that you could do this well?
After Fragment actually here. So my hair and my nose piercing didn't come till actually I threw the show at the garage.
Yeah. Wait. Tell us about the garage. What's the garage?
Yeah, the garage is a Houston music venue, and it can hold up to whenever you pull up the drawers. It can hold up to pretty good capacity. You can also use like the outside, which is what I'm about to do for Odyssey.
Yeah.
Staffing is amazing. The location's amazing, and just it's a great venue all the way around.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
We love the garage too. The Garage
Garage-
HTX on Facebook, Garage HTX on Instagram.
Wonderful times.
Yeah.
Just wonderful times. Just
And
absolutely epic.
Music venues, weddings, quinceañeras, they do it all. It's
Everything.
amazing.
Didn't y'all have like wasn't there like a shoe festival?
Shoe Expo.
Shoe Expo.
Full disclaimer, I do marketing for the garage as well.
Beep, beep, holla at your boy.
we do.
Beep, beep,
H-Town
beep,
Happy Hour. So, yeah.
What was the question though again?
When did you realize it was a good fit? You said after Fragment, after the hair, after the gauges.
Yeah, so I've had the gauges since I was like in junior high. So I originally started
that
throwing.
was another thing that you did with it. You were like,
No,
once
no, no.
Fragment was a hit, I was just like,
No, I've had the gauges. It was the pink hair and the nose piercing.
Gotcha.
So I originally figured out that I liked throwing shows back in like 2016. My friend Buddha, Michael.
Buddha Love.
Yeah, Buddha Love. He actually
You
got
know
me
him?
into it. We started doing silo shows together.
Wow.
But I was drunk and I had money and I was like, yeah, let's do it. Fuck it.
Kinda a little lavish with it.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, this is cool. And then I started doing it more and more. And I had Partyware Productions back then. And then I ran through that. And whenever I got locked up, of course, the whole entire story with LIVEImpact, meeting the dude. I knew that I wanted to do something in music so bad, but did I realize it was a perfect fit by then? No, but I was willing to try it. I had nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was willing to try it. And I did Fragment, the first one, and I was like, all right, this is tight. And then I did Ritual, which is at a church, and packed 500 people in it. And I was like, yo, this is really cool. All right, now we're getting somewhere. My mark was 1,000. I was like, if I can ever break 1,000 in under a year, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So I booked this show at the Garage. It was Fragment Reflect with Bandos and Miso. And like, first of all, that was another one of those circumstances we were talking about earlier. We were like, oh, it's not going to fucking work. Fuck you guys. It worked great.
Hey,
let's go.
Come on now.
Let's
It's
go.
called the H-Town Hustle for a reason.
Yeah, for sure. They were like, you can't mix those styles of music together. I'm like, the fuck you can't.
Yeah.
So we did both of them. And, you know, at first it was a little rocky. I was like, bro, fuck. I spent 15 grand on this show.
Wow.
I was like, every penny I had, because like, after I did the one time the loan shark, then after that was all my money.
Yeah.
Put every penny I had into it. I was like, oh, fuck, I hope this works. 2 weeks out, ticket sales were bungus. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
3 weeks out, started to look good. The weekend, every day, it was like just
Pop,
coming
pop,
in.
pop. Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, this is gonna work. The day of, we had 800 tickets sold.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, that's not even doors like open. That's not hard copy sales. That's just online. I was like, holy shit.
This is gonna
That's
be
real.
big.
I was like, I'm gonna break 1,000. This is it.
Yeah.
So like, that was definitely, I think, the show that I put like everything I had into, and so did my team, man. We put everything we had under that show, and like, sure enough, we had the garage doors open at the Garage. We had fencing. We had a badass sound system. We 3D like mapped with like projectors, the whole building. We had everything going off, and sure enough, doors opened. I had all the money plus profit on my ticket agent app. Hard copies came in. We almost sold like all of our hard copies, and then we had
Nice.
door sales.
Yeah.
And I was just like baffled. I was like,
Damn.
holy shit. So
This is a success.
yeah, as soon as I saw it, it was 10:30 and 1,000 people were already in.
Whew. Let's go.
I was like, after that moment, I was like in the back and I was just staring at shit. Everyone's like, what are you doing? I'm like, this is it.
This
I'm like,
is-
is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And there's
Yeah.
nothing that's going to take that from me. No amount of competition, no human being, and no company is going to take what I'm going to do.
Right.
I was like, this is it. And it's not simply the fact that, 1,000 people, that's the number to make it. Like, it was just like, the fact that I could do it means that I could do it again.
Right.
Yeah.
And if I can
Right.
do it once, then I can continue to do it.
Right. You can do it 100 times.
It's funny. I've heard something similar with that. It's that like if you can earn $1,000 one time, you can do it 2 times.
Yeah.
You can do it 3 times. You
Same
can do-
shit.
You can do it 1,000 times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Boom. All of a sudden, you're at $1 million.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, so that was like, I told myself, I was like, I can dress whatever the way I want and wear whatever I want and look the way ever I want whenever I realize that there's nothing that's going to stop me from making this company as big as I can make it.
Yeah.
And like, my goal is like almost ridiculous whenever I say it, but I believe it, so fuck it.
It should be.
Yeah.
It should almost cause laughs from other people.
Oh, it does. Every time, a lot of the time people are like, I'm like, no, I'm serious. Like, I want to be the next DDC. I want to be the next Pasquale.
Yeah.
And there's not a damn person that's going to stop me.
Well, whenever you do, remember this interview.
I will. I will. For sure.
Remember this interview, man.
Yeah.
You do. Man.
That's dope.
Well, it's really cool, man, because it's like, no, your dreams should almost be like, what? to other people.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, now I'm on the right track then. Like, whenever I say I want my last name on hotels, Hilton did it. Why can't Leighton?
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
If Hilton did it, why can't Leighton? And I have Lay in my name.
Yeah.
You know?
So peep this. And here's a way after I lost all my weight, something clicked in my head that there's not a damn thing in this world I can't do.
Right.
And so I started peeping game, and it was after I read Think and Grow Rich, I think.
Yeah.
I think it was after that book. I was like, if he can do it, let's just pick a person, anyone, like Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Let's pick, Jeff Bezos. Let's pick just anyone that's even wealthy at all. Even like if you have a family member that's wealthy, rich, whatever, pick them and just be like, if that motherfucker can do it,
Yeah.
why the fuck can't I?
Exactly.
The only thing that's stopping you from doing that is yourself.
Correct.
And that's my personal belief that
Yep.
Like that's why Odyssey is so important to me. Like I said, it's all those it's all those obstacles, all those battles you have to do.
Yeah.
So
it's a reflection on myself. Every event is
100%. It's an art.
Yeah.
It's an art, and you can express yourself in a way
Yeah.
that you can't necessarily like. No, once you got to realize that you're the change and the power. People will be like, "All right, dude."
Yeah.
But then when you're like, "No," if you actually pay $40, you can see this whole entire reason about why I feel the way I feel, and you can see it as an expression in this event, in this concert here.
And that's a lot. That's what's even cooler. So like, when you believe in yourself, it's one thing. But when other people start to believe in you, that's another thing.
Yeah, that gives that
That gives you that chills because it hasn't been just like my close team, my close friends. It's been people I've never even fucking met before.
Yeah.
They walk up to me and they'll be like, "Man, dude, like I believe in what you're doing. I see your vision and da da da." Even like, you know, decently like recognized promoters and like other club owners see it. And I'm like, "Yo, thanks, man. Like I really appreciate that. Like, dude, I love what the fuck you're doing.
Nice.
Keep it up."
Right. Well, and that's even like with this podcast, you know, I've gone over to a buddy's house before, and I went to go hang out with her and chill or whatever, and then her friend was like, "Hey, I really be watching y'all," and I'm like, "Yeah, really? Do you?" And she's like, "Yeah, I even shared the video." I was like, "Oh, God. Don't lie. Oh, God. Are you serious?"
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
I was like, "You mean you're a tuned-in viewer?" And she, like, yeah. It means a lot. It means so much, and I mean, like, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You can't put it into words. Like just the way you have to. It's like the way you have to say it.
Yeah.
You can't really say like there's no way to put it into words, but like just know for anyone, when you appreciate like how you were saying, like they support you, they watch your streams. It's the same thing with me, and I'm sure it's the same thing with you. That thank you from us means so fucking much.
Yeah.
Because like to have that support from another person, that something that we created and do. Oh, bro.
They didn't
so
see
good.
me driving up here with no air conditioning, sitting in traffic with a check engine light on. All they see is the show. Yeah. You know what I mean? They don't see me sweating bullets, driving 45 minutes up here to make this happen. They're like, "Hey, you look good on the event, on the show." Yeah. And I'm like, "If you only knew, man. If you only knew. Thanks.
Walking in baby wipes.
Yeah, man. I don't have enough deodorant to sit through this Houston heat, bro.
Yeah, it's hot outside. It's hot outside.
Welcome to summer.
I know. Yeah.
Fuck.
It's like I don't think you've really had a summer in Texas unless you've driven through I-45 and Beltway 8 with no air conditioning. I mean, like, dude, that's just standard whenever you come to Texas. Yeah. You should experience.
Dude, if your AC like hasn't broken in your car in Texas, and you haven't driven in the summer, are you really from here? That shit fucking sucks.
No joke, man.
Yeah.
All right, so something we like to ask everyone: what are some of the biggest struggles you had to go throughout you starting this company and doing it? What are some obstacles that you overcame and just fucking tackled like a boss?
The biggest obstacle is, and still is right now, is the finances.
Yeah.
I find creative ways to make that shit happen every day.
Yeah.
Being resourceful.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I'm creative as hell with it. And like, I'll do creative financing. That's the biggest obstacle. And then another obstacle is people to work. You know, people to find the right people to help you accomplish your dream. And like, especially in the starting phases, it's not like I can pay people I can't pay people to like actually quit their jobs and shit. That sucks.
Right.
That's one of my biggest goals is to make it toward this is all you have to do.
Yeah.
This is all we have to do. That's one of my biggest goals is to make sure that it's just us. We don't got to work for anybody else. We don't got to work for Starbucks. We got to do nothing. Just us. It's just Live Impact. That's all I got to do.
Yeah.
It's a huge goal of mine. But like obstacles, man, has really been that. I haven't had to deal with any legal allegations. I'm pretty good at that, especially with like doing insurance and everything.
Yeah.
A lot of it, man, is really just the promoting.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard to keep on it daily, and it's hard to keep on it all the time. That's a huge obstacle for me. At being creative in that aspect, you know, keeping people interested and engaged, and you know, that's a huge
most
obstacle.
people's attention is like that long.
Yeah.
You know, it's real quick. So I mean, I'm sure that is a struggle trying to be able to keep people engaged the whole time.
Yeah.
Another one is hosting. Everyone thinks that'd be the easiest part.
Hosting?
But like once the event starts, all right, so at this point, whenever you start an event and like it's 9:00 and the doors open, once those fucking doors open, your only job is to prevent as many fires as possible.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a hectic environment.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
Operation
like World War
problem
III in that
solving.
bitch. Yeah.
Operation problem solving. On
Anything
everything.
and sometimes, dude, I've had an event where nothing went wrong and everything was smooth sailing. But I've also had an event where everything went wrong and everything was blowing up in my face, and I had to deal with everything because no one knew how to deal with it. And I was like, well, fuck.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's being a boss, bro.
Yeah.
It's part of being a boss.
Hell yeah, it is. Biggest part of owning a company is literally that.
Yeah.
Putting out fires.
Yep.
Putting out little forest fires, man.
Yes, sir.
Other than that,
Professional problem solving.
yeah.
Wow.
That's literally it.
Professional problem solving.
You know what's
Amen.
crazy?
Amen. I'm gonna jot that one down. Actually.
Yeah, write that down, put it in a book, sell it.
Well, we got the green HTown happy hour.
Yeah.
You know.
It's crazy,
This is
though.
all my notes here of everything, everybody.
Yeah, I never
Alright.
thought about it like that.
So if you could go back and go back to your young self before you started down this journey, started down this path, and created your own thing, what are a few golden nuggets or just like words of wisdom you would give yourself?
Words of wisdom I'd give myself.
Golden
Shit.
nuggets, if you will.
Little golden nuggets.
Like, what would you tell yourself, little young Landry running around?
Stop quitting everything.
Damn.
Stop giving up on everything you fucking do, you idiot. Because that's how that was me. That was me as a kid, man. Every time, like, my dad would be like, all right, let's play football. Let's do this. Let's do that. Nah, fuck that. I quit. I can't. I can't. Was the most reoccurring thing I think I could say to myself as a kid.
Yeah.
And if I could go back and like drill that in my head, like
take that out
you
your
can do whatever the fuck you want and stop being a quitter.
Yeah.
And like stop lying. I was a compulsive liar. That's who I was. I would just say shit to say shit. It didn't even make sense. Like, why are you saying that? I'm like, I don't know.
Wow. Yo.
So,
Same.
like-
hey, when I was a young kid, I was too, dude.
Right.
I was an obsessive compulsive liar, and dude, when I started to become a man, it took that transition.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to lie to be cool.
Fuck no.
I can just be real, be myself.
I like you more because of you who you are.
Exactly.
I don't want you to be someone else.
Exactly.
You know, I like Derek because of Derek.
And then also,
Yeah.
whenever you own up to your issues or whatever sort of things you may be doing, you take away power from anyone else. Like if you're like, no, I was one who messed up on this, and it's not going to happen again. If you could take responsibility, you take away anyone being able to say, hey, well, you got to do this better. You're like, no, I already owned up to the fact that I didn't do that. You take away their power. You
Can
know
you
what
say
I mean?
that louder for the people in the back?
We'll rewatch the episode and y'all
Yeah.
be tuned in.
For sure.
But no, seriously, whenever you can take ownership of any sort of mistakes, it takes the power out of anyone else's argument.
100%.
Yeah.
That shit's hard to do though.
Well, but
it's-
also, that's what makes a man too.
Fuck
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yep.
There's times where it's like, why are you fabricating a story? It's like, because I don't want to own up to what I really did when I know I didn't make that call that I should have made.
Right.
When I know I didn't make that list like I knew I was supposed to make.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, oh, dude, I had to give my cat a bath. And I was reading a dictionary and I couldn't stop studying that. You're going to be like, oh, you're going to make excuses for the rest of your life. And then instead of being like, no, I just didn't manage my time correctly. That's a little bit easier than trying to fabricate.
Exactly.
And that's been a little inside joke for him and I for ages.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, I got to wash my cat. I'm not going to be able to, I'm studying the dictionary.
I gotta
man.
wash it.
I got to save a cat from a tree, man. I'm not going to be able to make the show tonight.
I got things I got going on.
Exactly. A bunch of nothing. It's just me scrolling on YouTube.
I think that applies to not just like business either. It's like that's
Anything.
life, dude.
Yeah.
Anything. Like it's like owning up to something and like addressing your problems and doing it with other people and stuff. It's so much less stressful than trying to manage a bed of lies.
Yeah.
Because you have to cover that lie with more lies, and then it just becomes more lies and more lies and more lies. And it when you could have just manned up, swallowed your pride, and owned up in the beginning, and now you don't have all that stress. Plus, sooner or later, your house of cards is gonna fall.
Yeah.
Sooner or
100%.
later, and that's gonna feel 100 times worse when all your lies come crumbling down than just having owned up.
Yeah. And then on top of that, if you're just try this for a week. If you're a compulsive liar, try this for a week. Be honest about everything,
yeah.
and see how much more interesting your life gets.
Damn.
Yeah.
Just be honest about fucking everything. Like even just whatever. Everything.
Huh.
If you're late to work, tell your boss why.
Yeah.
Like
Damn.
everything. You're gonna see like it's
That's
just
real.
more interesting.
Well,
That's
and then
real.
also, whenever you can own up to it, you take away the power from other people.
Yeah.
You take ownership of it.
The way I kind of look at, me and Evan have always talked about this. Like, if I'm not, I'm always trying to be the realest person in the room. Not like it's a competition, but if I'm not being the realest person in the room, say you're being more real than me in the room at that time, I'm gonna check myself. I'm like, damn, this dude's really being more real than me. Let me get to that level.
Yeah.
Let me get to his level of realness. So it's a goal I always set to myself, and not to say I'm more real than anyone.
No, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
But everyone should have that.
Thank you.
Everyone should have that thought process.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Exactly what you're saying.
I'm gonna be the realest person in the room.
I have a similar thought process, not to the certain extent, but I like to better. If I'm not bettering myself every fucking day,
Yeah.
like no matter what it may be, if it's a slight like change in the way I speak, if it's like a word that I learned, if I'm not better than the day before, I didn't do shit.
Right. That was an unsuccessful day.
Yeah, it was unsuccessful. So every day since I started thinking like that, I've been better the next day.
Yep.
Because I put in either with my company, I put in around 16 hours a day, and either myself or my company.
Right.
And that's just all in total. And I do that almost every day. There's very few days where I take days off, and there's very few days where I do less than that.
Yeah.
So like normally I'm just like that, man.
Yeah.
And it's just the way I love to live, because like I've now to a point I've wasted so much time.
Yeah.
From with all the selling drugs and going to prison and out of jail, everything that was fucked up whenever I was younger.
Yep.
Because like I didn't have a lot of people to like
check you.
Yeah, I didn't have a lot of people to check you. You know, my mom and my dad, God, I fucking love them to death, but they were all living their own life, and I was living my own life. And you
you're
know,
not gonna sit there and be like, "Hey, mom, guess how many I just sold this
right.
weekend."
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And dude, like they're like I couldn't ask for better parents. Like we're like the best of fucking friends.
Yeah.
But like whenever I was younger, man, like they had their own life and I had my own life. I wasn't talking to them about anything.
Right.
Oh, we weren't sitting down at the dinner table talking. Like maybe at a younger age, whenever I got into like the teenager years, fuck, I was running.
Right.
You weren't stopping shit. So like there was just a bunch of mess ups, and you know I didn't really have that like, you know, to steer me right.
Well, it's funny because I feel like somehow, some way, all that coincides. And you say that, you know, you really didn't have much people to. I guess you were surrounded by a bunch of yes men who never really told you no. But even those experiences of, you learn better how to do it next time because you're like, no, you know what? I can check myself now.
Yeah.
I can check myself now because I've seen what happens. If I hold the pin like this, it's going to fall. Don't do that again.
Yeah.
You know? And so I feel like almost some of those lessons and experience where we mess up are really super huge lessons for our
Wouldn't
future.
trade them for the world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So even those times where it's like, maybe I'm a loner and no one thinks the way I think, you know, so I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want. Well, you shouldn't have done what you wanted. You should have had some integrity and not messed up. But then it's like, okay, well, I can't change that experience now. I did what I did, but flip side, learn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think
So when's your next event? Odyssey. This sounds dope. When's this?
Odyssey is May 15th. It is all Greek and Roman mythology themed. I want people to dress up. I highly encourage it. We are bringing AU5 and Asura, which are like future bass artists. We will be having, which is going to be the gods stage. Then we're going to have a side stage, which is a second stage, and it's going to be monsters. The whole theme is Odyssey, a story of gods and monsters.
Yeah.
So like one is going to be like all beautiful, like future bassy music, and the next one is going to be like more dark and heavier bass music.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of the split between the two.
Nice.
And like that's just the premise of like you can choose two paths from your story. You choose the good or the evil, and then also, you know, gods and monsters. It's just trying to all tie into a theme.
Yeah.
And like the original premise of it still holds together with everything.
Hell yeah.
You know, like I'm not a musician.
Yeah.
I could sing and I could play drums, but like I never was passionate about it. I just did it because, you know, all the girls liked it. Being real. I like screaming a lot. Like I used to be like a hardcore band. That shit was tight. But like I just did it because of that. I used to write lyrics, but I wasn't passionate about it. I was all right. I used to do other stuff like where I, you know, tried to do creativity. Crazy enough, at 26 years old, 25, 26, that's whenever I figured out where I was creative at. It was making an experience.
Yeah.
Huh.
It was creating something for other people. And dude, that's like and you know, I thought it was just me like kind of being like, oh, maybe I'm just good at this because I'm good at it. No, bro, I didn't know I was good at it till other people told me I was good at it.
Yeah.
That's whenever I was like, fuck, I like doing this too. That's crazy. So like I'm cultivating these experiences, and you know, I'm thinking in my head like, oh, that sounds corny. Everybody could think about that. No, people are walking up to me and be like, bro, that's really creative. I'm like, really? Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because in the mind of like an artist, you could almost think like, oh, that's not that original.
Yeah.
Or you could be like, oh, well, everyone's already thought of that.
Yeah.
But how many people have like persevered on that thought?
How many people have put the execution to actually pull it off?
Correct.
Yeah.
You can think about something all day long, but I mean, well, thinking is what separates the, you know,
Yeah.
you got to think for yourself, but then, you know, thoughts become things. And if you put your action behind those thoughts, that's when it becomes a real deal.
You know, it's crazy that you say that. One of the biggest things, like, as many like shows and like interviews that I watch with people and books that I've read, the biggest thing into becoming successful, it's actually stupid easy. It's execution.
Yeah, execution
It's
is
pulling
key,
off
bro.
those thoughts that you have, which is something I'm super fucking good at.
Yeah.
And thank you, Lord, for making me good at that, because like I don't know if I could do this without it.
Right.
But like people will be like, let's do this. I'm like, all right, let's get on it. And like I'll start having, all right, you hit up the booking manager,
Yep.
you do this, I'll go find the venue. We'll finish it in like a week.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll finish everything. We'll have the
Everyone
whole
has
show.
a job.
Yeah.
So
and
I-
like
just to
I'm
add
the
to-
guy that's just like do this, do that, and let's go fucking hit it. And like if I don't do that, then we won't finish it. I have to be like, and that's not saying that like other people don't have that. It's just that's my strong suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's my strong suit, is being able to pull that off. And I've tried to work with other people on events. We've never gotten anywhere because like I feel like they're taking too much of the reins.
Yeah.
And like that's just how it is
Well,
with me.
well, some people have a little, instead of like being able to like integrate ideas and make it just huge. Some people have. Do you feel like they have like a little? It's a power of control that they're limboing with, instead of it being like, hey, you got good ideas, I got good ideas, let's run it.
Yeah.
They're almost like, no, well, we want this idea like this, because if not, then they're almost stubborn with it.
Yeah, and some people are too pushy with their ideas, and that's something I have to check myself with. And I've gotten better at it. I'll say that.
Yeah.
But like I'll say an idea and I'll be like strong about it, and then other people will be like, no, let's not do that. I'm like, all right, let's tweak it, let's do this. But then like some people, when you try to do a show with them, like they'll like push their idea so hard, and it's like, this.
It's like
and
you're forcing it.
Yeah. So it's like, why am I doing a show with you?
Yep.
It's just you, and then my name's on there.
Yeah.
And I mean, people do that all the time, and that's cool, whatever to get your publicity out. It's just personally for me, I don't need other people's ideas. I like my own.
Yeah.
And that's
Damn.
people really appreciate like my thoughts on how I'm doing these things. So why would I have someone else come in and try to change that?
Yeah.
I mean, if someone else is like, yo, I fuck with your ideas, I'm gonna help build on those ideas,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna come
Back
in
to
there
what
and
I
I'm gonna
said
give you,
earlier.
yeah, exactly. I love that. And whenever I'm bringing money into the table, we're gonna do this show together. That's what I'm about.
Yeah.
Because if your spot isn't like, because that's my sweet spot, is I'm good at cultivating these shows. I'm good at like making that theme happen. And like, if that's not your strong suit and you have a different strong suit that you can bring to the table, bro, bring it. Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's
Yeah.
run this shit.
Yep. I think those are two main things that we've kind of hit throughout this podcast that anyone can take it to the bank, dude. Like, this is how you become successful is execution.
Yeah.
And then also we wrapped on it earlier, consistency. Don't
Consistency.
quit.
Never quit.
Those are some of the two hard things to do for some people.
I wanna quit every
but,
day.
Yeah. Execution and consistency.
Did I tell
bro.
you about that traffic I had to sit in with the air conditioning not working? It's consistency. You know how easy it would have been to be like, hey, dude, I don't want to come in today. I don't want to go.
So easy.
Yeah.
And then, for one, I would have had to hear him be like, bro, no,
Yeah.
that's not happening.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, exactly, man. But you just got to make it happen, man. Yeah.
That's what the homie Joe was behind the scenes. He had car problems. All right, I'm coming to pick you up. Let's go. Let's go.
Exactly, man.
Cool. Well, Live Impact Events, right?
Yeah, Live Impact Events on Facebook, IG, and then
Yep.
it's Live Impact _ on Twitter.
Okay.
And it's Landry St. Patrick if you got
Yeah.
any fans out there, right?
Yeah, Landry St. Patrick.
Landry St. Patrick for the fans that are tuning in. Check them out. Live Impact.
Yeah.
Live.
Impact Events.
Okay.
So
okay.
and y'all go check it out if y'all are interested in coming to Odyssey, this super dope concert rave experience. Y'all check him out on Facebook and Instagram. You'll get the show details there. Other than that, I think that's
I think
that's
a
episode
wrap.
6.
That's episode 6 in the bank,
Yes, sir.
baby.
Landry, thank you so
Come
much for
on,
coming
Landry,
on,
my
brother.
guy, dude. Absolutely,
Utmost
pleasure
respect,
having you.
bro.
Thank you
bro.
all. Thank y'all for having me.
All right, guys.
100%. Number one podcast in the world.
No, HTown Happy Hour, number one
H-Town,
podcast in
come
the
on
world.
now. We're gonna.